Hey, gorgeous. Sorry, I'm touching my hair. I have started using a hair dryer and it's such a game changer. Oh my goodness. My hair's pretty thin, so I usually let it air dry, but that still takes a few hours. But recently, Jake lets me use his headphones. I don't have any of my own, so I use like, his over-the-ear giant headphones, and he recently told me how much they cost. And also told me that wet hair could ruin them. And that's why he bought the hair dryer, because he had long hair during the pandemic and his hair's still a little long. And so he drives for his headphones. And I'm just like, oh, well, okay, maybe I'll start trying my hair. And it's crazy how much a few minutes can do. Although I feel like I'm doing it wrong, because like I said, my hair's thin, so I would think it would take 2 minutes, but this was like 5 minutes. It's still like a tiny bit wet, but I just started talking about hair immediately. I'm just starting to do little video diaries on Sundays so I don't forget what happened during the week. But not much happened this week, like the week as a whole. Yesterday was great. We didn't do a lot of planning as it were, but we went to visit my mom and my dad, because my mom turned 60 today actually, but we couldn't make it today, so we went yesterday. And it was super fun, and my youngest sister was there and her boyfriend, so it was just the six of us hanging out instead of my whole like 20-person family. Which I love my family and I love how crazy it is, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of nice to be able to talk to each other and not have to like shout over each other or miss what someone else is saying, and there's like four different conversations going on at the same time. It's crazy and I love it, but it can be a lot. So it's nice to be able to talk. And also, Brittany, so my little sister, she's my maid of honor. And it was great because I've been less on my phone and less on social media in general. So I haven't been keeping up as much as I probably should. So I don't know. So my sister's in college and she also works. So she's busy. She also has her boyfriend is long distance. So with all of that, I assumed she was just super busy and I didn't really want to ask her about parties and stuff. I didn't want to make her feel obligated to do a bachelorette. And I don't, the etiquette with wedding showers, I'm not sure. I heard you're not supposed to have a family member do them, but also it's something that's thrown for you, so I don't really have a choice. Like if someone's like, yeah, I want to throw that, I'm not gonna be like, no, you can't because you're my mom or like you're my sister or something. I wouldn't do that. That would be rude. I mean, maybe other people would find it rude, but I'm not gonna be the one who's like, no, you're not allowed to do that for me. Like this very kind gesture. But anyway, so Brittany she was starting to ask, she was asking a bunch of questions. And it's funny because I went in kind of being like, oh, maybe I should tell her she doesn't have to worry about that. If she has a lot going on, I don't want to make her feel like she has to do it. She's a college student, she's on a budget. I don't want her to like stress out, basically. Like I don't, it not, don't get me wrong, it'd be great to have, the bachelorette and the bridal shower and all the like things that a lot of brides do. Some brides don't and they don't want them, and that's totally cool. I personally did want those things, but I wasn't gonna force it. Like if they didn't happen, I wasn't gonna be mad about it. But it was nice to have her start asking me questions, and she was so excited, and it made me excited. And I even emphasized too. I was like, if you can't do it, if there's any issue whatsoever, don't feel like you have to. And she's like, no, I want to do this for you. I want you to get pampered and have a good time, which was so sweet. That makes me so happy. Like I didn't because I picked her because she's my sister and I'm really close to her, even though she is 9 years younger than me. We have a pretty big age gap. But since I was like a teenager, I basically treated her like my best friend, which I probably shouldn't have. There are probably some things I told this like eight-year-old that I probably shouldn't have. But I don't know, pretty much since I was younger, I was like, Brittany's gonna be my maid of honor. There's no doubt in my mind. So it was because I had that in mind. It wasn't really like, oh, I'm picking you because you're a good planner. I'm picking you because you'll throw the best party or anything like that. So I'm very excited about it. I'm excited. She's excited. She was making a Google form so she could ask the bridesmaids like what their budget was and what they would be willing to do. And I don't know if she sent it yet because it might be a little early because it's March and we probably wouldn't have anything until, what, like August, September, like bridal shower 2 months before and bachelorette 1 month before. That's what she was thinking. But it made me excited that she was excited, and that made me happy. Oh, and also I was excited because this isn't wedding related at all, but my future sister-in-law had a baby yesterday. Like she texted us when we were at our parents', and I'm so stoked. I'm so excited. We haven't met yet, but I'm excited to go meet the baby. And Jake's finally an uncle, like officially, because I have 6. I have 6 nibblings of my own. I don't see them super often because I live pretty far away. So I've been an auntie for a while. Like my oldest nephew is 10. But I'm not super close, which is unfortunate. His sister lives closer, so hopefully we'll get to see them more, but we'll see. It's just exciting. I love babies. They're my favorite. I'm a nanny, so I obviously really love kids. I'm in a strange place where I don't want any of my own, but I love hanging out with babies and toddlers. They're cute. I love them. It's the only job I can imagine having. Did anything else happen? I think that's basically it. It was just, yesterday was a crazy day. I also took a class on how to get published, which was super fun. It was like a $30 community class. It was a 2-hour thing that I did online, like a Zoom thing before. First time I had to use Zoom this whole pandemic because I don't have a job where I need to use a computer. But it was really cool. It was very informative, and I was glad I did it. I was going to put it off because I write as a hobby. I don't know if I will ever get published. I would love to, but I don't know if it's like a thing that's in the cards. But Jake said, you should just do it and see what it sort of entails and have an idea, and then maybe years from now you can look back at your notes and decide if you would like to try and pursue that route. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's awesome. Like you're right. I should do that just so I also love learning things, so it's a great thing to have in my back pocket. Gosh, I'm just so excited that I'm so excited Brittany's excited for parties. She's like, oh, do you have ideas? And I've been checking out a bunch of library books and stuff, and if I think something's a good idea, I'll like take a picture on my phone. I should send her some of those pictures and see what she thinks, or see if they're even good ideas anymore, because some of these pictures I probably took months ago and I just haven't gone through them. I take the picture and I forget about it, which isn't very conducive to planning anything, but most of my stuff is done. And yeah, that was my week. Nothing got done wedding planning wise, although tonight, so Jake got Stardew Valley for the Switch. We've been playing on our PCs, but he got it for the Switch so he could play split screen, which is very fun. So we started a new game on there, and we decided that tonight after we do that, we're gonna try and make a registry. I'm not really gung-ho about the registry. I feel weird telling people to buy me things. I did already set up like a honeymoon fund, I guess, because we plan to go to Japan, not like anytime soon, but maybe in like 2 years or something. It wouldn't be this year, but it'd be nice to have it for future if we need it. That's all I have so far, because I was waiting on Jake if he wanted to do it with me and we could look stuff up online. But I honestly, like, we have a little list that we like compiled from other lists, but we don't know specifically what we want. Like, oh, we're like, we could use new plates because some of our plates are starting to chip and stuff. Obviously we're still going to use them because they're not broken. It's just the edges are chipped. But it'd be nice to get new ones. We just don't know what kinds. Now we have to try and find what kind of plates would we want to have. What would be good? I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm not. I don't like... It's not that I don't like it. I just feel like things I want are kind of obscure, and I try not to use Amazon too much if I don't have to. So it's harder for people to buy things. I guess we could do maybe like Target or something, and I'm assuming we can add links. We are using the With Joy website, and I think you can add links to it or just go through their website and add stuff. But that's our plan for tonight. It's that and Stardew Valley and registry. That's our date night. But I'm excited. It'll be nice to spend time with Jake. We do a lot of little tasks during the day. Like I did so much editing on my story this morning because this is the second story I've written, and Jake is reading through it for me to let me know if stuff makes sense, and he had a lot of issues with it, because near the end I just kind of started being like, yep, this is what happens. I just want this on the page so I don't forget about it, basically. So there's some plot holes in there. So I was fixing plot holes all morning, which was... It's fun. It's fun to get stuff figured out, but it's also a little frustrating. So I'm like, oh, I thought I was done. But the whole reason I'm having him beta read it is so I can fix these things. Okay, I ranted long enough. Toodles! I hope you're doing well.